Something extraordinary has happened to Judy Sizemore's closet, making it feel more like a closet. An area that once caused claustrophobia now has enough space to hold all of Judy's striped boat neck sweaters. And Judy Sizemore has a lot of striped boat neck sweaters. The Container Store Elfa sale is here with 30% off Elfa and installation. The Container Store, where space comes from.
Hi, this is Jennie Walker and welcome to Closet Conversations. Today I want to talk to you about some of the secrets to finding and sourcing some of the most highly prized and sought after vintage pieces on the marketplace. And these techniques are good for not only people looking for unique vintage, but for anyone sourcing for specific items. And the reason I want to talk to you about today is because I have been getting push notifications from the site Vestiaire Collective. Hopefully I'm saying the name correctly. And for months, probably I've been getting these push notifications 4 months, most recently. And so for about 4 months, and what they do is they send you a push notification. You can sign up for it when you have an account on their platform. And it will push notifications to your cell phone and also send you an email. And they are an international online selling platform, much like a Tradesy or a Poshmark or like a Real, but they're not consignment. It's people selling their own things. So I today when I got my notice and I clicked on it and I looked at the picture, my heart started pounding like boom, 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 boom. Started pounding out of my chest. And this is one of these super rare pieces that is featured in one of the Moschino books. I've been looking for this thing forever. I've not seen it one place other than the book for a couple of years. So there it was, and the price was I'll just say super reasonable for what it was. And so what this allows you to do is, I immediately saw it. I was in a panic and I pushed on my phone and tried to get it in my cart. And then I went online on the computer and was trying to make sure I could access it on the computer. So yes, it was in my cart. Phew. And then I was trying to hurry up and pay for it because it'll only hold it for a little bit. And one payment method didn't work, and then I had to try another payment method, and that didn't work. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So the third time was the charm. And so I got this thing, and I was just thrilled. And I can't wait to see it. And I didn't even read the description. I'm like, I went back later after I bought it, and I'm like, what's the condition on this thing? I hope it's good. So it was great condition. So very, very excited about it. And I was just, 4 months of looking at notice after notice after notice of things that I'm not looking for. So I did a broad enough search so that I wanted to know anything new that had come on the site by Moschino. And there it was. And so I realized that this was something I wanted to talk about because when I'm looking for a super rare vintage Moschino, I basically look under every rock I can find, but I do let technology do the work for me. And many sites, they're delighted to know what you want and to send you a push notification because they want to sell it. So you can sign up on all these different sites to be alerted when things are listed by a certain seller or by a certain brand. So I get alerts also from ThredUp. So there's certain things I'm looking for. So every time there's a new group, usually it's not just one. Usually they'll say 5 new items or 20 new items by a particular brand. And I'll push on that. And sometimes, there's only one photo that you're going to see. So I don't know what those other 19 items look like when there's 20 items by a brand. I just know the first one. So one time they sent me one of these notifications on ThredUp. And the first photo was something I'd been looking for. And sure enough, I was clicking like a maniac to push, to click through it so I could be able to buy it. And of course, I don't know what the price is till I get through. And sure enough, it was a good enough price that I could resell and make money on that. So I just wanted you to think about that. So, with eBay, you can get notices when sellers have new particular sellers, or you can get notices very narrow or very broadly on what you're looking for, and they'll push you those notices once a day. Although on eBay, what they do is they vary the time that those notices come to you. They don't come to you at the same moment every day. And it's they send them to everyone at once. And I think the reason that they vary the time is so that you're not, everyone isn't looking at a certain time every day for this notice, because it would be less fair that way. So I use those notices all the time on eBay, and it'll tell me what's new, and I'll click on that, and I'll tell you, some of the stuff I'm looking for is always gone. And so some of it that I'm looking for is super rare, that I can't even get it through a push notification because it's already gone before it ever was I alerted. Because I think for a lot of stuff that people are looking for that deal in high-end vintage, or I'll call it luxury vintage, they are constantly on patrol. They are looking and refreshing all day long, every day, on all the different sites, in addition to having these notices sent to them. So these notices are terrific if you respond right when you get them. You don't know how long, in the case of eBay, you get the notice once a day. So 24 hours has passed before you get the next notice, which is very different than a notice from a seller who's posted something new. That comes at a different time. Now on ThreadUp, you get the notices of the new inventory each time it's pushed into their system, so that's going to be more timely. So you're going to need to act on it right away. Same with Vestiaire Collective. That notice is pushed out the minute the person lists the item. So on the Real, you can get notices, all kinds of notices now. They recently upgraded their system where you can opt in for push notifications. So now they're telling me if I left something in my cart, hey, reminding me. Usually that's not a problem. Usually I've left it in there for a reason. Change my mind, or usually if I left it in the cart, I wasn't that serious about it to begin with. So rarely, only once to ever go back into a cart and get something, but I guess that's enough for them to use the technology. On the Real, they also have something you can set up called My Real, where you can create these a little section which will show you when things are newly listed under brands that you're looking for. So we're all really, really busy, and we all have a very short attention span because of things like this. So if you don't mind being alerted by email, by text, there's all kinds of ways to know about certain things that are coming up when they come up, and to give you more of an opportunity to buy it. Now, if it's something that you're alerted to, say in the case of eBay, you get a notice and it's an auction versus a buy it now, I've noticed, because I use it so much, a lot of people will go ahead and contact the buyer and negotiate a buy it now price and have them take it off auction if there's been no bids. Sometimes if there has been bids, they'll cancel them because it's something that they want so much. In the case of eBay, where I haven't waited for push notifications and I'm just looking under newly listed on a particular brand, and you'll see something right there in the feed that's super special, say that you're looking for, is you have a chance to act on it right then. And sometimes I'll see something and I'll be like, wow, that is so cool. I know it's really good. I should probably act on that. And then recently there was this beautiful vintage Moschino blazer, and I'm like, God, that's really special. They say there's this tiny flaw, but it still looks really good. And I'm like, well, I should really act on it before someone else buys it. And so sure enough, I think I thought about it for about 30 minutes. And when I went back, it was sold. And so it just goes to show that people who are looking for very specific things are looking all day long, every day, everywhere. And I think that it's important to use the technology that's out there to help you find what you're looking for, because we're all looking for different things. And what I've noticed is, say for example, The Real Real, where I've talked about their first, not first alert, but you get this program where you get to see things 24 hours before everyone else. And I'll do a separate podcast on that. But even within that, we're all fighting for different things in different brands. So, for example, I can't look at every brand I want all at once when they do their drop. I just can't. So I have to pick and choose the one that I want more than any other. And all the time I'll be over there in the Moschino world, and then I'll click over to Galliano or Westwood or one of these other brands, and then I'll look on there and my heart is just crushed because something amazing. It says hold, which basically means someone has it in their cart, and it is not coming out of that cart because if it's on hold immediately, it means it was underpriced and super rare, and someone was about to buy it. And so as I think more about getting involved in the vintage shows and wanting to keep my collection up to date and curated, I think more and more about how to source something that everyone else is looking for. So the good news is that while I'm really focused on Moschino, and that's a niche for me, other people are focused on other brands. And certainly most people do carry Moschino, but they're not, I think, as focused on that brand as others because it is super narrow point of view in terms of fashion, and it's a niche for sure. I think more of a niche than, say, someone like John Galliano or Dior that has a much broader, I think, appeal. But that said, there is room for all of us. I've even bought things by other brands that I know that someone who probably collects that brand was heartbroken they didn't get, because the rare pieces are the rare pieces regardless of who is making them. But people are using technology to help themselves along. So I highly suggest, if you have not, is every online service that you enjoy buying from, like ThreadUp, like Tradesy, like The Real Real, Vestiaire Collective, eBay, all of these different services, you need to check each one and see what push notifications they have and alert systems that are out there so you can know when what you're looking for is available when it becomes available. In addition to technology, there's all kinds of other ways to be alerted. I think Instagram is becoming a really interesting platform for me. Primarily, I post images of the Moschino pieces that I have. And as a result, people proactively reach out to me and say, hey, I have this Moschino piece. Hey, I have that one. Are you interested in buying it? 9 times out of 10, however, the prices they're asking are too high for me to make a profit on it. So I don't generally buy anything that way. But the reverse is true, where people who are looking to buy vintage Moschino, who've seen it on Instagram, want to know where it's for sale, because every piece is not listed in my Poshmark closet yet or on eBay, and so I'm always constantly trying to update that feed, so it kind of works both ways. So I think Instagram is a very interesting way to be proactive about what you're looking for. And I think that's it today. Nice and short and sweet. So be sure for each of the sites, definitely sign up for the notifications if you can handle it, if you can stand it. And my phone is a buzzing all day long. And I'm getting emails all day long. So you have to be very sure that you're prepared for that. And if it's too much, you just turn it off. But know that technology is very powerful. These brands and companies want you to know when it comes available. They want to make that sale. They want to make sure as many people as possible know that what they're looking for is available. So be sure and utilize that in your sourcing. Now, you don't have to be looking for vintage, luxury vintage pieces to use it. You can use it for anything. So anything you're looking for. If you specialize in, say, Doc Marten boots, for example, which, believe it or not, always sell for me all the time. Every pair I get sells, no matter what condition. If you're not sourcing Doc Martens, I suggest you buy every pair. So if you wanted just to know when Doc Martens were alerted, and if the price is good enough, you can resell them. You don't know what the price will be, and it really just depends on what you're looking for. But there's something at every price point, certainly on eBay, and everybody is not trying to get a premium for what they have. And I think a lot of that is because they don't even know what they have in terms of who would find it valuable. And so that means a lot of people who specialize in vintage, who go to the vintage shows, are doing a really good job of finding these items, and a lot of times from people who have no idea that the same item could be super valuable in a different context, like in a vintage show, which is an environment where you're going to get a premium price for what you have. And as I actually sell in every environment, I sell in a premium environment in terms of the vintage Moschino that I have. I'm just about to do my first vintage show. I sell in non-premium environments. I have, things that I sell at the flea markets. I sell on eBay. I sell on Poshmark. I'll sell on StockX, Grailed, and different things go on different platforms. And so the online environment is one environment, and the same item can be on different platforms, and it can be different prices on different platforms. But the key is, for me, is that I'm always kind of juggling the whole idea of where can I get a premium price for what I have? And that's a very different way to think about reselling. And I do not do comps the way most people talk about it. I'm always looking at what was the original retail price. What's half of that? What's 75% of that? I don't ever do the opposite, which is what did somebody sell it for? Because 99% of the time, I'm selling the same thing for a lot more, because I have developed a way and a system for selling what I have at a premium price and attracting the people who are willing to buy that. And there we have it. Thank you for your time today. There's just a little bit about some of the secrets to sourcing the really good stuff. Be sure to use technology. It is your friend. If you can handle it. It'll be knocking on your door all day long, so that to let you know it's out there. So definitely use technology. And that's it. I appreciate you listening. This is Jennie Walker with Closet Conversations. And I look forward to having you with me on a future podcast. Keep listening to hear the entire intro song, Black Hat, written by Jennie Walker and Tommy Farragher from the album Night Flight to London, available on iTunes worldwide
It was a black hat, it was a man's cap, worn backwards on his head. He was a cool cat, he'd been to hell and back. He had a look that stopped me dead. He had something that I needed. It took my strength to show my weakness. I was falling, feeling numb, like the shadow needs the sun. Won't you help me, mister? We can't go wrong. We made a fast track to the yellow cab, speeding through the lights. A last grab, a desperate stab. We were leaning on the knife. We flew away together. In the backseat, we were one. And through the rearview mirror, you can see was a man's cap worn backwards on his head. He was a cool cat, he'd been to hell and back. He had a look that stopped me dead. He gave me his cap and his name as he turned in